So Miss Universe organization recently announced to national directors that they are allowed to appoint its last year's runner-up to be sent to this year's pageant because of this pandemic. Do you feel that the representative appointment is safe and practical instead of holding a national pageant this year? Absolutely. I think that's a great alternative to the situation. I think that is another example of how we need to think outside of the box and how we can view things differently. You know, this is not common. This doesn't happen all the time. You know, viruses like this doesn't appear every year. So considering the circumstances, I do believe that it's a justified resolution. Absolutely, and I think that was a good decision on the part of Miss Universe. Obviously, I would love to see local pageants, you know, so those girls can have that experience that I have, but there's always next year. You know, life doesn't stop. You know, we're still alive, and so hopefully that whatever decisions they make is the best one. But my personal opinion, I love to see national pageants, but again, I'm in favor of the health of our people. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, I see a question that is actually here. I really like that one. I'm going to get to that soon. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading. Okay, so I read one here. It was basically asking. It was from, who was it from? It was like Leon, Leon. His question, it was like, what are your 3 biggest realizations during this time during the pandemic? And this question here is I just lost it again. I just lost it. I'm so sorry. I guess I'll just answer your question because I just lost it here. I think one of the greatest lessons I've learned during this pandemic is that the only consistency in life is change. And that in order to progress and evolve, we must accept with open arms and an understanding heart that change is the inevitable. You know, it's going to happen in our lives. And life after this may never be the same, but that's okay. Because us as the human species, we're resilient people. We are a resilient human species that no matter what we confront, we are able to overcome. And this is something that I do believe that we will overcome, but you know, we need to accept the change that is coming, or accept our new normality. Also, I realized that we need to appreciate the simple things in life. You know, life is not promised. And so what does that mean? We need to live life to its fullest. We need to tell people we love them and not wait till that perfect moment. We need to appreciate our loved ones, our family, and to really live life like it's like you die tomorrow. We need to have a passion, to have our goals so engraved in our hearts and in our soul that we work for it every single day. Because that, I think, is a fulfilling life. That we wake up and we have our soul set on fire for something that is called onto us. You know, like our life's mission. I think that we need to recognize that and work for that every single day, because life is not promised. And the days that we do have here are crucial and are so important. And we shouldn't wait for tomorrow. We should always work on today and to love our loved ones and to accept and embrace change. And so that's definitely what I've learned through this pandemic. Okay. So this is a really good question. I think it's a very relatable question. Have you found yourself getting overwhelmed or developing mental anxiety with the news you read online? If so, how do you cope in your own little way? So let's talk about this question, because I think it's a very relatable question that we are all experiencing right now, right? Because remember, we are all in this together. You know, I believe in horoscopes, and as a Scorpio, and I'm a water sign, I am extremely empathetic. Like, I can feel people's emotions. If someone's crying, I don't even know why they're crying, but my body just wants to cry with them because I feel. I always say my first language isn't English or Spanish. My first language is energy. So obviously, watching sad news, my energy sometimes feels drained. I do feel drained. I feel, you know, helpless at times. I said, when is this going to end? You know, To be super honest with you guys, there's times where I'm in like the midst of crying because I cannot believe that we are in this situation, right? We all have these goals and we feel that they have been postponed. And it's those moments where I am filled with fear. I decide to let it go and put that in God's hands and be filled with trust and in faith. You know, I believe that right now we need to really hold on to faith and in trust that everything will be sorted out. Whenever we're having those negative thoughts, we need to try to think of the positive. We need to try to think of our life's mission. Like, why am I here on this earth? It's to be so-and-so, is to have this job, is to help these kind of people, and work on that every single day, even if you're in the house. And it's possible. And it's so possible. You know, I think this is a really great time to be incubated in your homes and to really focus on what is it that you want to do. And this time during quarantine has been so amazing for me because I've been able to utilize this and take advantage of it and write down my goals, write down the type of woman I want to be in the future. I set myself not only short-term goals, but long-term goals. I build more meaningful relationship with my friends and my family during this time. So whenever I find myself sad, I remind myself that I'm alive and that I have a purpose here and it's not over yet. And that gives me that fuel and motivation. So I also want to make it clear that, you know, it's okay to feel anxious. It's okay to even feel at times depressed. It's okay to sleep a little bit more than often or eat more than often. It's okay as long as you snap yourself out of it and remind yourself who you are and why you are here. Because each and every single one of us here has a purpose, has a mission to complete. We are all vital to our community and to this world. So once we feel we're in that funk, let's get out of it real fast and remind ourselves those positive affirmations. I think that's so important. But to also not to be so hard on yourself. You know, we're human. It's okay to have your days. Just remember, you gotta snap out of it. I'm doing this because I need my coffee. I haven't had my coffee. All right. Okay, this is the question I already answered. It was, what are some of your reflections and lessons during isolation? How is the current COVID-19 situation in Puerto Rico right now? Has the government imposed a quarantine to all citizens just like other countries? And when will it last? And the last question, have the citizens been obeying the quarantine and social distancing rule? I definitely believe, yes, we have. The governor really imposed very strict rules on our country, and thank God, because she did act in a fast manner. We don't have as much cases as other countries. And in that aspect, I'm very, very positive that we're on the right direction. You know, people in my country are taking it very seriously. And I believe we continue doing this and we continue listening to the instructions of medical experts and our governor and follow the rules, you know, I believe that we can slowly stop and flatten the curve. But yes, I am very obviously focused on the news and what's going on. I think that we all should be during these times to make sure that we are doing our part as citizens and following the rules. All right. Let's see. So this is I did kind of answer this, but I'll just read it to you. Have you found yourself getting overwhelmed or developing mental anxiety with the news you read online? Oh, I did answer that. Just kidding. All right. One of the things that you said we find inspiring during Miss Universe Finals is that magic listens to the stubborn heart. Do you think that the fast and relentless always wins? And what advice would you give us in achieving our dream goals in life? So I guess we have to understand what defines goals and success, right? You know, I never look at the person next to me and see them as a threat or competition. I believe that as long as our goals are noble, I believe that everything has its divine timing. And so I don't look at the next person next to me and see because they reached a goal that it was too fast or they don't deserve it, because that's not the case at all. I'm happy when someone achieves their goals, right? But in my case, I believe that a goal isn't a straight line. You know, you're gonna have those times where you're gonna be distracted or derailed, or you might even have a setback. But as long as you are focused and your goal is noble, eventually you'll get to that destination, and that feeling of satisfaction and gratification, that despite your failures or despite your detours or despite your setbacks, you continued to move forward because your goal ultimately is your divine purpose. And that's why I said, you know, I believe magic happens when you never give up, because the universe always falls in love with a stubborn heart. And it's so true. You know, to get to that stage was not an easy path for me. I had my derails, I had my setbacks, I had times where I even doubted if my goal was even achievable. But because I believed in myself, and I believed that this goal wasn't set by myself, but maybe of God and the universe, I continued moving forward. And it was, like I said, it was a moment where I said I owe myself so much, because to get here was not easy. And one day I would love to like explain more about my story and why I feel so proud of the position I got to, and why I don't regret anything. Because once maybe you understand the backstory, you understand why I said that. But I don't believe that there's such thing as someone reaching their goal fast, or, you know, the fast always wins. That's not true. You know, as long as your goal is noble and you work hard towards it, despite your outside noise, you know, magic happens. And that magic is that self-fulfilling purpose, that divine order that you've been set to do, is achieved. And that feeling no one can take away from you, and that's something that only you can feel. And that's what I felt that night. And my advice for people is, if you set goals, make sure that it's noble, that it's in your higher self, it's not coming from ego, that your goal is not only for yourself but to help others as well. So that's my advice, to really focus on that. Ask yourself, why am I here? What do I love to do? What are my talents? What are my fears? And work on that. Overcome that. Let's see. You were so memorable in your gold medal gown and fiery swimsuit walk during the Miss Universe. What was your inspiration behind it? So that's a really fun question. My dress, well, I always envisioned myself with like a big flowy dress where I can play with it. I always envisioned myself with like a lot of like shiny rhinestones everywhere, the glitz and glam. But then more than I thought about it, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. I want something extremely modern but timeless, that doesn't speak so loud but has its presence. And so that dress was definitely what I envisioned. I was thinking of like the Dior commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's a Dior commercial, and she's wearing this beautiful gold dress, and it's not too flashy, but the way that she carries it, you want to look at her. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't want my dress to speak for me. I wanted that my essence, my energy, the passion that I had coming out of my eyes to be noticed and taken note of. So that was inspiration behind my dress. And as far as my swimsuit catwalk, that was just, oh my gosh. You know, for people who know my trajectory in pageants, I'm no rookie. I'm a veteran. And every time in the swimsuit portion, I never felt satisfied. I said, why did I go so fast? Or why did I do that turn like that? I never really liked how I did my swimsuit portion of the competition. And I said, you know what? All or nothing. In Miss Universe, I'm going to give my all. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be fearless and brave, because I'm very shy, believe it or not, in a bathing suit. And I was like, I'm going to let go of those fears. I'm going to let go of my insecurities. I'm going to just own it and have fun. And that's exactly what I did. And now that I'm known for it. And honestly, I just had fun. I acted like I was with my team, and we were practicing my catwalk, because that's when I really just do my best. I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself. I was just really enjoying the moment, because I did work so hard for that specific moment, the swimsuit competition. And look, and now I'm like known for my swimsuit portion. So it just comes to show when you can you can really focus on where your defects are and where you're flawed. If you focus on that and you don't let ego take over and say, no, I'm really good at this, and you just humble yourself, you can work on it, and you can get to a level where you thought maybe you couldn't get to. So it's really good to also do that. And lastly, the last question is, can you give a message to all your fans and supporters worldwide? What can they look forward to in the next coming months and years? Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all my beautiful fans from around the world. You know, I've said this countless times that I'm eternally grateful for your support, because it is the fuel that keeps me going. To know that people are looking at me and being inspired by me or supporting me just because I'm Madison is a feeling that one cannot describe. And so for that, I am so thankful for each time you guys message me something positive, for each time that you comment on my photo, something loving, for each time I'm in the street and you call me up by my name and you just want to give me a hug. You know, that is my motivation to continue being transparent and brave, so I can eventually inspire others to do the same. So I'm so thankful for all your love and support from around the world. And you can expect from me a lot. If you want, I'll take advantage of this moment. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is Madison Anderson Berrios. There you can really keep track with my life. I most definitely will be entering the life of showbiz, the world of entertainment. I'm just going to manifest it now. I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to work on it. And that is definitely where you can look forward to see me in. I really want to make a documentary of my life. So if any of you guys are videographers, contact me. This is something that I really want to do. I'm also working, I've said this in past interviews, on a book also that I really want to share with you guys, obviously about my life, my journey, being part of the diaspora, and what it means to be part of that word and what it means. That's something that I definitely want to do and highlight with you guys. So yeah, so that was all the questions. I'm gonna go and look at your comments, and let's have a little interaction. So the Sash Factor Miss Universe First Runner-Up. Hi everyone, for those who are just logging in right now, I'm Madison Anderson Berrios, Miss Universe Puerto Rico 2019, and also First Runner-Up in Miss Universe. And you just missed it, but we just did a really great Q&A. But now if you guys have any questions, go ahead and write it down in the comments, and I'm gonna go ahead and read them. Are you retiring from Williamford? Are you retiring from your pageant journey? For right now, I feel confident to close this chapter and enter a new chapter of my life. I feel prepared. I feel mentally prepared, emotionally prepared to start a career of mine that I've never done before, which is acting in the life of entertainment, I guess. But I'm ready for a new endeavor of my life. But you never know where life takes you. But for right now, this is my focus. And when I'm focused on something, I get it. All right, so let's go ahead. I see love you from Thailand. Hello. God bless always. God bless you from Camila. Philippines. Hi, Philippines. Do you think why I'm reading? So this is a very it's like a controversial question that many people have debated in the past years. This is from Tony. What do you think about why beauty queen must not be a mother with rights to participate? I believe that to be a beauty queen is a full-time job, and to be a mother is a full-time job. And I think it's just, I guess, prioritizing that moment. But I believe that the beauty of a woman is also giving birth to a child. So this is maybe something in the future that can be changed, and with more discussion, more consciousness around it, maybe we can have some more interaction on this question. But as far as right now, to just give a broad answer is that these are full-time priorities, and that to do that you need to dedicate all your all. But yeah, so this is a really interesting question. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It's Akar. How do you overcome your fears? From Myanmar. Hi, Myanmar. How do you overcome your fears? Well, you acknowledge them, You acknowledge that they're there. You acknowledge that you are fearful, and you put down your ego. And this is a perfect time to practice putting your higher self forward and ask yourself, why am I fearful of this? Is there past traumas that had led me to be fearful of this? Is this just the fear of the unknown? You know, there's many factors that can be attached to fear, the word fear. But once we dissect that and we have that conversation with ourselves, you know, this is a personal conversation you need to have. We're able to understand the proper steps in order to conquer that fear. And I truly believe once we understand that fear, it's our destiny. You know, believe it or not, I was so fearful to enter beauty pageants. I was so fearful, believe it or not, my first time wearing a pair of high heels was at the age of 16. And they were like this tall. They were like 1-inch heels. And that was like a big deal for me. And I was fearful. Why? Because I've been bullied for being extremely tall. I've been bullied because I was extremely like lanky or bulky or you name it. And I was fearful I was going to get bullied or criticized even more. I was going to tower people and I was not going to be accepted. But guess what? Now I wear 6-inch heels like it's nothing. And I feel more confident and empowered in my uniqueness, my height. So as something that as simple as that is, we need to understand where that fear comes from. Once we understand it, let's go for it. Go for whatever that fear is followed, because that is where your destiny lies. And I believe that we're just spiritual beings living a human existence. And so our mission here on this earth, in this universe, is to overcome challenges. You know, we need to grow spiritually, and that the best way to do that is doing what scares us. All right, let me move up a little. From Singapore. Hi, Singapore. Hi, Madison. Carl. This is from Carl. Hi, Madison. We love you here in the Philippines. I love you, Philippines. I hope one day, I hope I'm putting it out there in the universe. I want to visit the Philippines. I've been wanting to visit the Philippines for some time now. Oh my gosh, that would be such an amazing moment if I can go visit the Philippines and meet you guys in person and hug you and experience your culture and your heritage. That would be, wow, really amazing. But one day, I promise you guys, one day I'm going to go see the Philippines. I'm going to just move up real fast and see if I come across a question. Anthony. Oh, that's not a question, but it's a statement. All your answers in this life thus has been Miss Universe final question caliber. You rock. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. What's the main change that you had after this competition? From Tony. Okay, so what is the main change that I had after this competition? That's a really good question. I guess it's just realizing that maybe my time in pageantry has ended, and now it's me to move on to a new endeavor in my life. You know, like I said, the only consistency in life is change. And for so long, my life has been to be such a great role model, to be such a great queen. But now being on the international level, I have been able to do that. I'm now a beauty queen. I am now a inspiration for young women. So I feel that goal, that passion, that fire that I had to do that has been accomplished in one way or another. So the biggest change right now is just realizing how I'm going to redirect my life in another way that can be inspiring, another way that I can be fulfilled spiritually, and create in a creative way as well. So I think that has been the biggest change, just changing to that change of lifestyle. Hello, this is from Ariana Carlos. Hello, Miss Madison. What is your advice to all the people who has affected their mental health during this crisis in the world? Greetings from the Philippines. Hi, Philippines. Great question, and thank you for asking me that. So, my greatest advice right now for people who are conflicting with mental health issues right now during this crisis is to take your time. There's no rush. No, there's no correct way to feel right now, but to also give yourself time, to also allow yourself to be positive, allow yourself to be active, and to not stop your life because we're in this quarantine. And also, I highly encourage everyone today or moving on to give mental health check up with your friends. You know, just call your friends and loved ones randomly and ask how they're doing. You know, sometimes we can be lonely during this quarantine, and all we need is someone to call us and ask if we are okay. And so my advice is not just for the people who are experiencing this, but also the family members of these people, the friends of these people, and do your mental health checkup on them, because it's also our part to let them know that we are all in this together. You know, this is a time that we need to be more sensitive to the situation and more loving and empathetic, excuse me. We have a lot of people from the Philippines. Oh, thank you so much. How do you see yourself? Okay, this is from JB. How do you see yourself in 5 years from now? In 5 years from now, I want to see myself with new goals. Hopefully, because I feel that I accomplished my goals during that 5 years. I want to hopefully have a home. I hopefully want to be established in my career path, have some things going for me during that time, as far as like television or series, or even have an album. I want to have at least a great footprint in the music industry, if that makes sense. So hopefully, I'm just being optimistic, but it's really important that we also write down our goals as well. All right, guys. Me gusta como suena tu voz. Ah, bueno, muchas gracias. So there's a lot of questions, obviously, about mental health. I hope that I was able to answer your questions and concerns regarding that. I'm going to go ahead and now swipe down because I see more comments coming in. Oh my goodness, there's so many comments. Oh wow, I wish I could read them all. From South Africa. Hi, South Africa. Thank you so much. You guys are so loving in these comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Oh, this is an interesting question from Sir. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name right. Crown or love life? So there's been always a debate on this, right? Like, if you're a beauty queen, you shouldn't have a boyfriend. Or if you have a boyfriend, you shouldn't be a beauty queen. Vice versa. And I think you are allowed to have a love life as long as your significant other supports you and doesn't stop you from reaching your ultimate goal. I believe that someone should come in your life not because they complete you, but because they help enhance or your life. They complement your life, not because they complete you. So it's really depends on how you define love and being in a relationship. Obviously, if it's possessive, that's first off, you shouldn't be in it. But I don't think that can be a proactive help if you do want to be a beauty queen, because beauty queen is someone who's able to give their love to everyone else. So if you're in a relationship where they're very possessive with that, maybe that doesn't go hand in hand. But again, this is a very personal question. Each person is different in their own way, but now you understand maybe my insight on that. I believe it is possible. You are allowed to have a love life as long as that person understands that your main priority is not that relationship, but being a role model for young people, and understanding that and complementing that. Okay, Capilla, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. But her question is, I hope you will read this. After watching your performance in Miss Universe, it really hit me hard, every word you said. You know what? In my life in that time, I really had something that makes me incomplete and not satisfied. I really don't know what kind of journey is ahead of me, but because of wisdom you talked to on your Miss Universe performance, I realized that I can do more. Thank you for being my greatest inspiration. I'll forever be your #1 fan. Love from the Philippines. You are my one and only Miss Universe. I love you so much. Oh, look, I'm tearing up. You know, this is why I do this, you know. Thank you so much for that caption, for your words, for your loving words. You know, ultimately, this is why I do this. And one day I would love to do a live where I'm able to talk about my life journey, my setbacks, my failures, those times where I wanted to give up. So you understand why this being a pageant is so much more meaningful for me. I really found like I found my mission, you know? And thank you so much for sharing that with me. You know, nothing's impossible, and you know, if I can do it, you can as well. And I'm so proud of you, and I truly believe that you're meant for greatness. Continue believing in yourself, and whenever you need some light or positivity, you know, you can just come and message me in my DM, and I'm always there for some words of encouragement and some love, because that's what I'm here for. Okay, so may God bless you. Mwah. All right. What is it feeling me? Okay. Oh, okay, we have Oscar here. Madison, mi amor, Oscar here in Orlando. Love you so much. To many of us, you are Miss Universe, the sixth crown. How do you feel leaving such a huge impact on people around the world? They love you. You know, oh, thank you so much for saying that. And you know, I love you. Mwah. You know, it's an undescribable feeling. It's a feeling that of self-gratification, of self-purpose. I feel that I'm so aligned with my divine assessment on this earth. And that's to inspire others through my story, through my victories, through my failures, through my words, through my life experiences. And I'm so touched that my life experiences have been able to touch the hearts of many other people, and that so many people were able to identify with me. You know, I'm very grateful that my story has been heard around the universe, and my voice had been so impacted on these people's life that they continue to still follow me. And that is, I'm just so grateful for that. You know, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and I'm just so grateful. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I need my coffee, so it's the morning here. I'm gonna go ahead and log out. Thank you guys so much for watching this Facebook Live. Thank you again, Sash Factor Adam, for allowing me to do this live with you guys. Hopefully in the near future, we're able to do this again. Thank you. I'm gonna take advantage and let you guys over to my Instagram page. My Instagram page is Madison Anderson Berrios. Go ahead and follow me if you want to know what I'm doing, if you want some word of encouragement, or if you want to personally talk to me, DM me. I try to talk to each and every single one of you. Again, thank you so much. Sending you a big kiss. Bye.